What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Seez Monroe Show. I am your host, and today we'll be talking about The Conjuring, Last Rites.
The devil has come to Pennsylvania.
Jack and Janet Smurl claim that an evil presence has found its way into their home.
8 people live in this house. 8 people have experienced this. 8 people are not crazy.
So, when did this start?
Heather's confirmation.
Now, I must admit, going into this film, I was really excited. Reason being, we just came off of like a little run of horror movies that's been solid this year. Like 2025 has been a year of horror films for some odd reason. Like they're doing a really good job here. And The Conjuring should have been like that next thing, that next big thing. First off, let's go back to 2013 when the first Conjuring movie came out. It was amazing from start to finish. Like I said before, storyline, the jump scares, the gore, everything was there for a great horror film. With The Conjuring Last Rites, I didn't feel like we were getting that. And it could be because I just came off a high of seeing weapons. Like, I feel like anything in that realm as far as horror movies, like that storyline was solid. Everything was just put together so well that this is number 4. This is The Conjuring Part 4, The Conjuring Last Rites. We should be expecting something phenomenal out of this film. Unfortunately, that's not what we get. All in all, I feel like this movie was just the nail in the coffin of the Conjuring series for the most part. I remember, I want to say 2017, somewhere around there, The Conjuring 2 came out. Or was it a little bit before that? It could have been before that. I'm not quite sure. Either way, The Conjuring 2 came out, and they were supposed to be doing all these little spin-offs. The cripple, was it the Slender Man? It was a couple other things along with Annabelle was another one. And pretty much that was supposed to be like the springboard to get these other films off the ground. I don't know what happened. Warner Bros. Kind of pulled back. I believe La Llorona didn't do well, so they pulled back off of that. And La Llorona, I honestly, personally haven't seen that one yet because I only heard bad things about it, but also it came out around the same time as Avengers. Was that Endgame or Infinity War? I want to say it was Infinity War. I believe it was Infinity War because I remember it was like the snap thing and La Llorona was trying to pull marketing from the Avengers snap into the marketing for La Llorona. So I want to say it was around that time, 2018, somewhere around there. This film, no, it had to be 2019. It was definitely 2019. So it had to be Endgame. I feel like this is Endgame at this point. So I feel like that's why it didn't do so well because everyone was just prepared to see Endgame. And this film just didn't fit in their repertoire as far as like Endgame is a family film. You're probably going to see it more than once. So people were just like, I'm not going to go to the show this week. I'm going to just save it and went to the show the following week to see Endgame. And I think that's what happened with that. Also with me, I was busy at the time because I also work in movie theaters. So we were getting prepared for Endgame at the time. So I just never got around to seeing the film. Eventually I have to see it. But either way, I feel like that's where it stopped. Because La Llorona didn't do well, they kind of moved away from doing all these other ones. The only reason why The Nun kept it going is because I feel like the main demonic demon that's in the films from Annabelle was in The Nun. So they're pretty much telling that storyline. And that's what happened there. So fast forward. We go into The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So that's The Conjuring 3. The Conjuring 3 pretty much was centered around witchcraft. And I didn't like it. I really didn't feel like The Conjuring 3 was a good film, like at all. Neither did I feel that The Conjuring 2 was entertaining, but I didn't feel like it was as solid or it kept up with the lore or the energy of the first Conjuring film. Now, maybe I'm asking too much. And also, I thought it was just sophomore jinx. But after seeing The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, I kind of knew from that point on that this film, these stories just weren't going to hit the same. It gave you the jump scares, but it just wasn't a good storyline. And The Conjuring Last Rites, I feel like we're right back there. Like there's things in this film where I feel like we're missing a lot of backstory. So we go into Lorraine and Warren's daughter's life pretty much, and we're ignoring where this demonic spirit came from. So as the movie is going, this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, by the way. As the movie is going, I'm thinking that we're going to get to that point, and we just never do. Again, watching the film, you know films, you've been around these films for so long, you kind of understood what was going to happen since the beginning of the film, because they kind of, I don't want to say gave it away, but again, you've been watching these for a long time, so you kind of understand where they're going with these things. So that was there. The foreshadowing in the film gave a lot of stuff away because it was just like, oh, this is going to be a thing, expect it to come back. They tell this story about the family not the family that lived in a home, but the family that they didn't live in that actual home, but the home was on farmland, and the demon that's really from this other area is using them as a facade, right? I don't want to give away too much because I still want you guys to go see it. I feel like you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm going to get back into that later. But they don't go into the storyline of the main antagonist at this point. So I didn't feel like in any other films, as far as like the Annabelles, the first Conjuring, like they went into the storyline, and that's what got you intrigued with it. I felt like we spent a lot of time with the relationship between the Warrens. What is the father name? Now I called him Warren. But either way, we spent a lot of time with the Warrens, and we didn't spend enough time with the family that was being haunted, and they kind of just glossed over. I guess they didn't want to keep giving you the same thing, but in this case, it works. You might as well give it to us. Like, make sure that it's entertaining enough that we get it and we want more of it. You know what I'm saying? This film just didn't give me that. I felt like I was gypped out of a lot. I didn't get a storyline from the main antagonist. Didn't get too much of a storyline from why the farmland was used as the front and going into the mirror. So it was a lot missing here. And of course, you have the trope with the boyfriend learning about this stuff and wanting to stick around. I kind of knew where this was going as far as like leading or passing on the baton to the child and her husband. Great. I mean, it is what it is at this point. But personally, I think I'm finished with this. Like, you can't, if you get 25 out of 100, that's still a failing grade. And I felt like that's where The Conjuring left me at this point. It had some decent pacing, but a lot of the things that was going on in this film, it was about, I feel like the pacing of it was good, but leading up to what the film was about, I feel like in reality, we could have did this in a more creative way because there wasn't enough going on to keep you entertained through the times. Like, I was looking at my watch, like just waiting for the next situation to happen. And I guess for those horror fans that's like, they need the little relaxation between scenes, it was a lot of relaxation and I didn't like that. So all in all, I'm going to give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. I felt like it was entertaining. I feel like you guys are going to enjoy it. It is probably the last Conjuring film, like not from the Conjuring Universe, but it's going to be the final Ed and Lorraine Warren story. So, and again, this takes place in 1986, so they could go back and do that weird stuff because there was a 30-year period where they had a run, or they can lead it on to the kids doing their thing. So there you have it, guys. I mean, again, the horror is there, the jump scares are there. It's just the storyline, and 2 hours and 15 minutes is a lot of time to fill in a story where there's not enough backstory to get you through. So like when we ignore where the main antagonist came from, I feel like that was a mistake. When we ignore the family and the things that they were going through, I felt like that was a mistake. And and you kind of ignored what the father that tried to, not the father of the family, but, you know, the priest that was trying to help the family. You ignored how he got to the point where he got. Like, it was just, it wasn't enough, man. Like, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes of filler, but they left the juicy, the meat and potatoes out of this film a lot of times, and I didn't enjoy that. So let me know your thoughts down below, man. Are you guys going to see The Conjuring Last Rites this weekend? Let me know down below. And again, it could be me because, again, Weapons has spoiled me. Like, that came out about a month ago now, and that was just a solid horror film. It was very creative, and you go from that to The Conjuring, and it's like, what are we doing here? Now, it's projected to do 50 million this weekend. I believe it's going to get us 50 million this weekend. Why? I feel like people are thirsting to get back to the theater at this point, and I feel like people are thirsting for a good horror film, especially Weapons has like led the last month in as far as box office, and I feel less because it's getting out word of mouth for how great it is. The Conjuring has a loyal fan base, so you're probably going to get those people to come see the film at least once, and they're going to bring people to see the film with them. So 50 million is not a bad benchmark for this film this weekend. I think it's going to make it. Go ahead, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.